The spy who couldn't be caught. In the shadowy world of World War I espionage, one German spy was so cunning, so elusive, he baffled America's best agents for a year. Paul Weimar, a master of disguise and evasion, seemed untouchable. This is the story of how a phonograph record caught Germany's most dangerous spy. The elusive spy. Before America entered World War I, German agents plotted against the US. None was more dangerous than Paul Weimar. Tall, powerful, and fluent in a dozen languages, Weimar was a former Hamburg American police superintendent, adept at navigating the criminal underworld. He worked for high-ranking German officials. Weimar's evasion tactics. The Secret Service knew he was dangerous, but catching him was another matter. He was too clever. Subway chases, elevator escapes, coded phone calls. Captain Kenny of the NYPD even invented new trailing systems, but for months, all they knew was where Weimar had been, but not what he had done. Enter Mort Maxwell, the breakthrough. Washington was desperate. The chief of Secret Service called in Morton Maxwell, a brilliant Department of Justice operative. Maxwell learned that Weimar lived alone but had a cousin, George Buck, a former associate from the Hamburg American line. Buck had disappeared after a heated quarrel with Weimar over $15. Maxwell suspected foul play or imprisonment. The music store clue. Maxwell posted a reward for Buck. Days later, a patrolman named Riley came forward. His girlfriend, Katie, worked at a 14th Street music store. A young Austrian regularly bought expensive violin records for a sick man who used to be a steady customer. The sick man? He'd been in bed for over a year. The brilliant deduction. Maxwell's face lit up. Weimar didn't have the nerve to kill Buck, but feared what he knew, so he kept him prisoner. The records were a weekly kindness. The specific record? Drigo's Serenade by Austrian violinist Kreisler, Buck's favorite. The stakeout and the rescue. Maxwell, Riley, and Katie staked out the music store. On the third night, the buyer appeared. They followed him to a dark house on 13th Street. Inside, the strains of Drigo's Serenade filled the air. Maxwell and Riley burst in. They found George Buck, pale, weak, guarded by two men. After a brief fight, Buck was free. The confession and the outcome. Rescued and safe, Buck confessed everything. Weimar had been holding him captive and had recently boasted about plans to blow up a big canal, the Welland Canal. Maxwell immediately called Niagara police with Weimar's description. Weimar was arrested before he could plant the dynamite. Sometimes, the smallest clues crack the biggest cases. $15 and a love of Fritz Kreisler brought down Germany's most dangerous spy.